Hey guys, this is Dan White with another battle report. This week my opponent Zach is running 4 B-Wings, blue squadron pilots, all with fire control systems, and one of them does have proton torpedoes as well. It's going to be a lot of armor to chew through and a lot of attack. Myself, I am running a couple of Tie Interceptors, the Royal Guard pilot, and each one has the Royal Guard Tie, stealth device, auto thrusters, and push the limit. For my remaining 40 points, I have a Firespray, a generic bounty hunter with gunner and seismic charge. As you can see, my opponent Zach has a typical B-Wing tight formation, all lumped up together there. Because his pilot skill was 2, he placed his ships before all of mine, so I did get to see where he was before I put down my ships. I purposely chose to have the Firespray opposite his B-Wings as an attempt to draw attention away from my interceptors. I wanted to give them time to flank on the sides. My whole game plan is to get them behind or to the sides of the B-Wings. No surprise here, Zach is turn 1 just having every ship do the same movement, keeping his tight formation up. And that last one he moved does have the proton torpedoes in it. My Firespray moves the minimum distance it does forward. I didn't want to engage him too soon because there's no way a Firespray is going to joust with 4 B-Wings. But at the same time, I want him to focus his attention on the Firespray next turn, so I'm just staying straight. I had my interceptors not be perpendicular with the edges of the mat because I wanted them to fly into alleys of the asteroids. I just take a look at what's an open space, and that's where their facing is at the start of the game. And turn 1 is all about positioning myself to attack turn 2. I'm not too worried about the stress because there's enough green dial on an interceptor that I know I can shred it next turn. And I just wanted to set myself up for the turn 2 attack and hopefully be outside of their front arcs. In my head right now, I am really hoping that my opponent splits up his B-Wings and sends 2 after my interceptors and keeps 2 after the bounty hunter. I'm confident that with my 4 agility dice and auto thrusters that I can beat him if he splits up his forces. You know, even though I don't want to joust with 4 B-Wings, I'm confident jousting with 2 interceptors versus 2 B-Wings because I can either just dodge all of his attacks or, boost and barrel roll out of his firing arcs. And I think my bounty hunter can buy lots of time if he's only going against 2 B-Wings. But unfortunately, looks like my opponent is putting all of his resources into my bounty hunter and kept formation. So that bounty hunter is in trouble. He doesn't evade action this turn because he knows he's going to be shot at. Right now my Interceptor does have shots on both of his back B-wings, but it's also through a rock on both of them. I decided to focus and give myself an extra chance to sneak in a couple damage points. For that Interceptor, I ended up going straight forward rather than turning. I was a little over scared about being shot at. And I believe it is going to, maybe it'll set me up better for the following turn, maybe not. It did successfully avoid all of the B-wing firing arcs, but it also cost me an opportunity to attack. I landed 2 hits there through the rock, and he rolled 0 defense dice, so that was pretty good. Now my bounty hunter is going to take a shot at the same one, and I rolled blank, blank, blank. He's got 2 hits, and I rolled 1 evade, but I used my evade token to dodge both those. Another range 2 shot. I believe that was 2 hits and no dodges, so 2 shield gone. Another 2 hits and 1 dodge. Looks to me like all my shield tokens are gone. It looks like 3 hits. May have got a couple dodges there, but I still took a crit. And that is the crit where at the start of combat I have to roll a damage die to see if I take a point of damage. This turn I'm thinking to myself, that bounty hunter is pretty much dead. I do see an avenue where I could move and hopefully get to the side of his B-wings. If I just go, 4 forward or whatever the maximum forward is for my bounty hunter. So that's what I'm hoping I can do, is just scoot behind him. And these interceptors are just at the point where they need to attack the B-wings, because I know that he's going to spend all of his resources to take out my bounty hunter this turn. I think Zach saw the predictable path that I was going to take. So with his B-wings, he is going to barrel roll to try to block me. He doesn't need to spend any actions on focus because he already has 4 target locks. It'd be kind of a waste of resources. and this one he's debating on what to do. I think he ends up going with a barrel roll just in case I was gonna somehow take a hard left and try to escape him that way. Zach does a good job of sticking to the plan of blocking me. And sure enough, he succeeds. A shot on one of his B-wings, got 3 hits, and I believe he used maybe a focus and dodged 2 of those, or dodged 1 of those. Got a range 3 shot on another B-wing. And that's another 3 hits, with 1 evade from Zach. So I've whittled down 2. Let's have the bounty hunter take his last hurrah. One of those same B-wings. This one's really close, whether it's range 2 or range 1. We actually grab a third party to check. And third party says it's range 2. So we got 2 hits, and I believe that was 1 dodge. Alright, so I've got 2 of his B-wings down to 1 shield apiece. Like 3 more hits and dodge there. At some point I'm going to remember my critical effect. Here we go. So there's my critical that I forgot, where you have to roll a die at the beginning of combat. So I do roll and I do take a damage because of that. And there's 3 more hits, and that is a dead Firespray. He was a good bounty hunter. He always ate his vegetables. At this point, I'm kind of worried. I was hoping that bounty hunter was going to last a lot longer than it did. I knew it was going to die, but I didn't think it was going to die so soon. Which is kind of foolish, because I used to fly B-wings a lot. I know how powerful they are. Hindsight's always 20/20 though. I'm expecting quite a few K turns for my opponent next turn. But my movements seem pretty obvious. You know, just inch up, try to stay at range 2 to 3 so that my auto thrusters will stay in effect, and get another round of firing at him. I'm expecting next turn will go very well for me, so long as I'm at range 2 to 3 of him, and hopefully I can take out a B-wing. If I take out a B-wing, I'm going to feel a lot better with 2 decked out interceptors versus 3 B-wings with fire control systems. So far, no K turns yet for my opponent. He's just doing some hard rights. And this last one is going to bump. So no actions for him. Well, I'll follow suit and give myself a hard right turn, which is a green action. Will remove my stress. And he's in a pretty good spot. I could boost and try to get a range 1 shot on him, or I can stay where I'm at and focus. I think I chose to stay where I'm at because I was scared about the following turn being that close to B-Wings. This one also creeps up a bit. He is going to have a couple B-Wings being able to shoot at him, even though they're like range 3 shots. So I'm debating that I might barrel roll to escape one of his B-Wing shots. Barrel rolling is going to put me in front of a rock next turn and limit my movements, but I don't like being shot at. Not when I only have 3 hull. And I chose not to use push the limit that turn. I wanted to keep these guys stress-free. Give me freedom of my dial next turn. I got 1 hit there. Maybe. No, I think he... No, actually I did not get a hit. He evaded that one. That's 3 hits, and he rolled maybe 1 evade. Yeah, he rolled 1 evade. So he took away a shield and gave himself a damage. He puts on 2 damage, but I think later on someone is going to question the math on what we did, and I'm pretty sure he'll take that extra damage die card off. There we go. Alright, well this turn is going to be a little trickier. I like where my red tie is right now. It's kind of behind everybody. But that other Tie Interceptor is... I feel like he's going to get shot at a lot next turn. So I have the option of trying to run away and just getting 1 shot. You know, if he does what he did before with my bounty hunter, he'll focus everybody on that single tie. Or I can try to sneak into the pack and get behind him. I think so long as he doesn't block me, I'll be okay. Ooh, rather than going after the gray tie, looks like he's doing some, just spreading himself out at this point. Zach knows that Tie Interceptors are hard to predict, especially with push the limit. So rather than focus on a single point, he's kind of casting out a net with his firing arcs, so that no matter where I go, he can at least get a shot on somebody. I think it's a pretty good plan, especially since he's up on attrition at this point. He doesn't want to spend any turns not shooting anybody, so shoot somebody. Also, he just successfully blocked one of my ties. And make that 2 of my ties. So I'm going to be flying through a rock and no actions. That was about as good of a placement for his B-Wings as that could have done, or conversely, as bad of a placement for my interceptors as I could have done. I do have some shots, but it's not on the ties that I want to shoot. Alright, so let's see if I can salvage this turn still by rolling hot on my green dice. That looks like 1 hit. Should be pretty easy to dodge at range 3 with my stealth device. I'm rolling 5 dice. 2 evades was enough. But he does get his target lock thanks to fire control systems. Now we got another only 1 hit. Pretty easy to evade. But another target lock. Alright, well thankfully I did dodge everything that turn. So it wasn't the worst thing that could happen. I'm pretty sure that gray interceptor is going to do a K turn. But I have no idea what my red interceptor is going to do at this point. That is a lot of B-Wings that have spread out now. Oh, that 1 die I just rolled was for the rock. I believe the rock did damage me, but thankfully it's not an enemy attack, so I still get to keep my stealth device. Or perhaps the rock missed me, because I don't see myself putting down a damage card. I think if I were Zach right now, I would want to just keep doing what I'm doing and spread out my arcs. Give yourself a good chance to potentially block, and give yourself a chance to shoot me no matter where I go. It's like when you're throwing a baseball at a pole. Don't try to hit the pole. If you aim directly at it, you're going to miss. But if you just throw it in the direction of the pole, sooner or later, you're going to hit the pole. Well, I thought I was going to K-turn, but looks like I'm taking a soft turn instead. And there's where the damage comes from. I ended up hitting that rock, but my stealth device is still on. It was a critical, actually. And I believe that critical states next turn I don't get to make an attack. So by hitting the rock, I also lost my action, which took away my boost that I was going to do to fire at him. That was actually really, really bad. Not only that, my red tie did end up hitting one of his B-wings. So, yeah, these are 2 turns in a row where Zach has just outflown me. I do get a range 1 shot, but that range 1 shot only had 1 hit, and he drew an evade. Looks like 3 hits on my gray tie. And even with my stealth device and auto thrusters, I still take a damage. So now my stealth device is gone from that gray interceptor. My red interceptor just took a crit. And this is the one where my pilot skill is 0. The turn before this one, I lucked out on my green dice, but now with 2 ships without stealth devices, I don't think I can reliably count on my green dice anymore. Not with all the target locks Zach has acquired.
Really needed that to be a black.
I just want to give you information. Oops. And he will probably boost.
You have to take it off. in the back and one on the side. So 1 grid.
Deal 1 face down damage.
That's 10 gone for him, right?
No, 1 more.
1 more
Second.
I'm going to take a shot up front.
What do you guess?
You guys even fired yet?
Concentrate
No, we
fire.
fired. I killed the ship. He's about to kill a ship. It'll be fun.
You make fun of us. These are like the most eventful games.
Yeah, stressing.
I think I'm just going to leave it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die no matter what.
I forgot that you moved first.
Yeah,
I might have changed it.
Prince resolves somewhat differently. It's not, you don't get infected.
You know what? Reroll that double hit.
Crit means you can resolve it. It's just a binary thing.
Alright, so that cuts it down by 1.
Dave, I feel like I'm carrying my general.
I'll redirect back and starting to hurt because I gotta carry my general.
Fire me.
Alright, go blow up.
You volunteered.
You volunteer, you gotta take it.
Fire me.
Like the Navy, never again volunteer yourself.
Okay, well,
That's the first thing you
Whoa!
yeah, I feel better now, Dave!
Go team!
Why are you dancing him?
He just blew up.
Although he does have 5 victory tokens, I believe.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be actually a close game.
Usually my maneuver always knows the number doesn't.
Oh, I like the little maneuver deck. Nice.
More than one. What do you need?
I need.
Okay, now I'm looking at 4. No, sorry, 1. 5 or above.
Yes, and then it
Yeah.
That sounds like it hurt.
There's a table on the bottom of the card that tells you how many tokens you do it each game. So
my tiny faster than you have to no clear. Or, you know, any. It's fun, but is it more than the odds or fine? It's awesome. Like, it's funny. It's dirty. This one.
Get him!
Yep.
Amelia.
Or any other.
Right, sir.
Your ship's gonna be down in the second shelf.
I guess I will activate my.
He's just gonna focus.
Zeros!
And then
I did.
last guy.
For him.
Yes, but not for me because of the mission.
Here, I'm right there, guys.
Yes,
you like how I did that?
Yes.
One.
Nada.
You got the one on the one thing that doesn't hurt you to overlap.
Alright.
Alright. Out of all these tokens, nada. He's doing the squadron shot first. So, these two, right?
Okay. Everybody move except for the last guy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till I move.
The center is right now.
1, 2, 3.
We got like a giant mess incoming.
I'm gonna run into the guy I just proxied. So I'm gonna go. This dude is like right here. And I'm not gonna clear that. Alright, so I'm gonna stop like right there.
Make sure you have stack of
3 out of the way.
That might be important.
I saw that. I feel like there's some other shit. No. Not to you. Just take 3.
It's going to be a slaughter battle report. Alright, we do shoot first. Let's go after. Hey, we got a range 1 on 3. Look at that.
Somebody want to take out number 3?
Right, gotta get something. Maybe not.
You'll hit something. So that's a hit crit enough to, because it's number 3, right? And he don't have no focus, so he takes a hit and a crit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can't. That guy can't shoot this turn. So he's fine. He takes no damage. Alright, he has a shot. Number 4.
This number 4.
I care not about.
Number 4.
No shields on that side? No shields on that side. Godon is dead, so I don't get his effect anymore.
Alright.
Give me 4 crits and I think it's
Well, he has nothing. Does he?
that you spend them, but you can only spend 1 of each type.
That was just why we direct. Direct.
I make this down.
And
Yeah, you got my token.
Okay. It's gotta be a range 1.
Yep.
Okay. So that's, I do not have a target lock on that guy.
More stealth, but it used the dodge action.
I do not have a target lock, so 2 hits.
I'll use my dodge token and
That's number 2. I'm not gonna switch my targets.
that was 1 and 2. Oh, my 2, you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say this guy has 2 damage. I could switch to target lock with fire control systems, but I'm not gonna. I don't think that'd be the smart thing to do. Number 3 is gonna go after number 1.
Range 1?
Range 1. And he does. Not going to.
Jimmy Christmas.
Ooh!
Host. 1 takes.
No, it's never gonna be it.
Technically it was the other way around, but that's fine. He's gone either way. And 4 has a shot.
4 has a shot on 2. And that's got to be range 2. Yep, range 2. And his target lock is on that guy.
I can dodge 1, but still die. Good game.
Good game.
It's weird, like, just saying.